who sadly passed away earlier this week, and news of HHP's passing made headlines on Wednesday at around 12. And the circumstances leading to the artist's death remain unclear. But what is clear, though, is that the star played such a pivotal role in the South African music industry. The 38-year-old retired from a successful career which spanned over a decade, and tributes have been pouring in on so many media platforms. Helen Herimbi, who is a lifestyle and entertainment journalist, is here to tell us a bit more about their interaction, or rather her interaction with the star. Very good morning to you, Helen, and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You've been an entertainment journalist for about 12 years now.
Yes.
So mentioning the name HHP, what comes to mind?
The thing that always stood out about Jabba, or HHP, was respect. And he always demanded it, and he always gave it. I mean, he had a show called Respect, a TV show called Respect, and he treated everybody with respect,
yes.
you know? Yeah.
So from what you've seen, from what you've written, from what you've heard about him, so what would you say sets him apart from other artists?
It was just the fact that he was authentic.
Yeah.
You know, one of his earlier albums was called Umang. And it was all about identity, you know what I mean? He came out at a time when westernized, Americanized hip-hop was what people were doing in South Africa. And he took his cue from the Bafitliles of the world, you know, and he became one of the people that represents Motswako all over the world, you know? Yeah.
No doubt he was very influential in this industry. So what do you think is the kind of influence that he wielded over other artists, and particularly the music industry as a whole?
I mean, I think you have to look at one of the biggest artists in the country at the moment, Casper Nyovest, came up under HHP. Morafe, they got their name from HHP. And also just his influence all over the continent. You know, he was a part of the Daraja Walk. He's got fans all over the country, I mean all over the continent, and he was working with people like Talib Kweli, Pharaoh Monch from America, so he was beyond just being an authentically South African artist. He was a person of the world, I would say.
Have you met him personally?
Yeah.
So
I've known him for years.
Fondest memories you have of him?
I'd have to go back to the first time I ever met him. We were actually on a road show about maybe 10 years ago. And we were having a downtime kind of day, and a few friends were like, yo, let's go over to this room, there's a whole bunch of people. And what was happening was we were all playing karaoke, and I hadn't met him. I knew who he was, but I hadn't met him. And when I got on the mic, he was like, you know we're playing, right? You're being serious about this singing thing. And he was always like teasing in that way, and he never forgot me and I never forgot him, you know.
You know, we've been losing so many artists this year alone. I mean, just recently we lost Pro Kid and now HHP. Do you think this is perhaps the death of Motswako music?
Ooh, Motswako will never die. No, HHP is forever, so Motswako can never die. And also, the evolution of Motswako means that people are taking it into their own and making it something new all the time. Yeah. But I think there's also something to be discussed about the ageism in music. And I think, yeah, maybe it's a conversation for another day. Yeah. But yeah, Motswako will never die.
And for those upcoming artists who always looked up to him, now that he's gone, what would you say to them?
I would say take your cues from him. Keep being humble and keep treating people with respect, but also blaze your own trails, because all the things that he did as an artist who crossed over, I mean, he was on Strictly Come Dancing, he had his own TV shows, he hosted the Summers. Basically, there's a whole lot that you can do aside from just being on the mic. Yeah. And I think you can learn that from him. What
have you learned from him?
Ooh. I've learned a lot of things. And I think one of them is to always approach the world with a smile. Even no matter what he was going through, if he saw me, he'd always have a smile on his face, and he always had all these ideas about speaking your mind. So I think have a smile on your face and speak your mind.
Helen, thank you so much for sharing your recollections with him. Hey, we appreciate your time. That is Helen Herimbi, who he is a lifestyle and entertainment journalist, talking to us about the late HHP who passed away on Wednesday.
Is that why? So much. I wanna die. I wanna